Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and please subscribe so you tune into the amazing Lenormand deck and the practical readings we get from it. Now in this reading, I would like us to focus on what blessing is coming for us. And so we're going to do 6 separate readings and I'm going to use 2 decks for them, but I am going to do the same 6 card layout for each one so that we keep it consistent across this question. And the beautiful thing about this question is that we're going to interpret all of the cards under a positive light. So even the most challenging cards of the deck, like the whip, we can turn them into a beautiful positive context because the question is focused on blessings. So I have our 6 charms here. I want to go over them with you. We've got the Owl of Wisdom. We've got the 4-leaf clover, and that's actually a real one. We've got the teal stone, the beautiful shell, and hands of prayer, and the rose quartz stone. So think about which one you'd like to resonate with for this layout. Take more time if you need to, pause the video if you need to, and we are going to start with the Owl of Wisdom. All right, here we are with the Owl of Wisdom, and I am going to be using my own deck for this. My deck is shuffled as always. Just a quick shuffle, and I'm going to deal out the 6. All right, these are some nice cards to see for the 6 card layout. You see we've got the Tower right in the middle here. And the Tower is all about the long-term path and achievement over the long term. And when I see it with the clouds here, I really feel that the key is, well, what is the long-term goal that is going to take priority for you? And what I do think is that you are going to figure that out, and it's going to set you on a path that you're going to be pursuing over the next phase. So I think the main blessing that is coming for you is clarity and understanding about what you want for the long-term future. And this is quite precious, and very few people, or maybe not very few, but few people think this is the most important thing right now, like to know what should I be clear about for the next phase. So pretty interesting. So let's weave the different lines and put this whole story together. In the top line, we've got the Stork, the Tower, and the Road. So the Stork is an active card. It's about change and movement. And so is the Road. Both of these cards have to do with choices and changes and the idea of setting things into motion. The Tower is not so much of a movement card, but it certainly is one of progress and the idea of the long-term unfolding. It's a bit slower than the Stork and the Road, but the key about the Tower is that sense of inner guidance. Sometimes the Tower is a bit mysterious. It can be about the inner guidance or this mysterious guidance that is at play in our lives. And so this can be at hand here. And with the Stork and Road, it's really about attuning into this inner guidance, this sense of trusting about where your path is heading. And so when we see the Tower in the middle of the line, it's really quite amazing because it tells us that you are trusting of your path. You do know that you are moving in the right path ahead. And you feel guided, and you really trust yourself in your movement right now. The Tower is also about achievement, authority, and experience. And so it does seem that you are wanting to deepen your experience in the current path. You want to become an expert at something, or you want to reach the top in a certain area. And so this is really aligned with the Stork and Road because it suggests that you are moving forward in this and you are committing to reaching that top in your path, maybe in general in your life, but also probably in some specific area of your life. So this is a really positive line that tells us you're committed to achieving the goals and you are going to keep moving forward in this, and you know that is the right thing to do for you. So that is great. Now the Clover, Clouds, and Anchor is a beautiful combination thanks to the Clover, of course, but also the Anchor is pretty positive. The Clouds is typically a card of challenge, but the main thing about the Clouds is that it's very psychological and it points to confusion and tension. And so I do feel that with the Clover and Anchor, it is really about clarity and making up your mind to stick with something. So no more wobbliness, no more hesitation. You are trusting that this is right for you, and you're just going to stick with it, and you're going to put aside the tension and the doubts and any suspicions that come into your consciousness. So the anchor here is really powerful, and it is very supportive. And I do feel that you are going to achieve a very high level of clarity, and this is what's going to set you forth in this path. It's going to help you commit to the path ahead. And your level of commitment is really impressive. Like your willingness to cut through the confusion, cut through the tension, any suspicion, any doubt, cutting through the cloudiness, is so impressive. And you're very strong-minded and you're very committed. So this is definitely a blessing that is coming your way, and it's probably what's going to help you achieve your goals. So looking at the columns, we've got the stork and clover, a very beautiful combination suggesting a happy event, happy movement forward, trusting the fact that you need to make this change and go and keep moving forward. And then the tower and clouds is the willingness to stick with the course despite the challenges. Again, this idea of commitment is really figuring out, as it does in the road and anchor. So the idea of keep moving forward in the path that you're moving forward in. You know this is the right thing for you. You've got a lot of commitment and clarity at this stage, so keep on keeping on. And then we've got some diagonals here to look at. We've got the stork, clouds, and road. Again, the idea that you're willing to move forward despite the challenges, despite the speed bumps. You're able to navigate this. You're able to adjust and adapt. And I don't think it phases you. You really have control of the steering wheel, and you are just forging ahead despite the challenges. And we see the wonderful rewards, like in this diagonal, we've got the clover, the tower, and anchor. The idea of achievement and reaching the top is very much highlighted by the tower and anchor, but also the clover and tower. And also the idea that we keep seeing over and over in your 6 card, that this is the right path for you. You do want to stick to it for the long term, and you have lots of clarity and commitment to it. So overall, this is such a powerfully clear 6 card layout for you about what blessing is coming for you, and you are going to get the blessing of clarity, of commitment, and achievement. So definitely stick with what you're doing, keep at it, and you are going to achieve your goals and reach that top that you are aspiring to. So very well done, and very best of luck with this. Let me know your thoughts about this. Leave me your comments. I'm looking forward to them. And before I let you go, be sure to check out the links that I have for you in the description. And thank you so much for tuning into this reading. I am so looking forward to our next one together. All right, here we are with the Clover group. We're switching over to Titania's Fortune cards. And as always, my deck is shuffled. Just a quick additional shuffle so that I deal the cards. So let's go ahead and deal those 6 cards. Oh wow, now this is a really interesting layout of 6 cards here. You see we've got the whip, and then we've got the mountain and the beautiful flowers in the middle. What is all this telling us? Now, just looking at these 6 cards, I really feel that it's possible that you are going to let go of a past situation and move somewhere else. A physical move is possible. You might decide to drop your anchor, so to speak, in a place abroad. And what's really beautiful is the lily and flowers, and this has to do with healing and a renewal in your life. So a very beautiful message that is coming through. So let's weave these lines together and put this whole 6 card layout together. In the top line, we've got the whip, lily, and mountain. And clearly, this sounds like a phase of challenge. This sounds like a phase where you feel nothing was moving forward. You were stuck. You felt you weren't progressing. The whip is by itself a card of challenge. And with the lily, this can point to health. Sometimes it does. And the mountain can feel like a blockage and that sense of stuckness. It can point to a place abroad, but because of the challenging cards here, I'm tempted to also read it like a challenging card, because that too can be an aspect of the mountain. And so with the whip and lily and the mountain as well, it sounds like you'd been going through a phase of challenge. It could have been a bit turbulent. It could have been stuck. You felt like you were fighting and working and putting in effort, but it wasn't going anywhere. So it can feel like you've reached like a stalemate and you're not sure, well, now what do I do? So I think that's where we're going to see this beautiful column come through, and this progression here across the 6 card layout is going to make a lot of sense. In the bottom line, we have a beautiful combination. We've got the tower and flowers and also the anchor. So when I read the tower and flowers together, to me, this has to do with forgiving the past. And with the anchor, we feel that you are going to get over this. You're going to land in a new place, especially after the flowers here. It's going to feel like you are in a state of renewal. You feel like you have new hope, a new sense of enthusiasm, and you are willing to, give life another chance, give things another chance. And this is gonna come through very clearly through this column. So the tower, flowers, and anchor has to do with a sense of forgiveness, forgiving a past situation. And it's pretty clear in light of the top line that this has to do with forgiving this past obstacle indicated here. So a very beautiful line that suggests a new sense of renewal and the idea that you're going to get over this phase. You're going to get over it. And I feel that this is the key blessing coming through for you. Now, when we look at the columns, it makes a lot of sense. The whip and tower in the farthest left column, and this is mostly associated with the past or the earlier phases of a story. And we can see that, there's been a long-standing issue, a long-standing problem. It could be a phase that had been something you'd been enduring for some time. And because of the whip, it's clearly challenging. And what's so nice is the lily and flowers, which has to do renewal, a sense of refreshment, forgiveness, and just feeling like you have a new sense of motivation. And in affairs of health, it is very positive as well, because it has to do with healing and recovery and getting your energy back. And so it is a very beautiful indication, and this is a key blessing coming through your reading, that you are going to recover from this issue and you're going to have a new sense of enthusiasm and motivation and appreciation. And I think forgiveness is really an amazing blessing to have. And then in this interesting column here, we've got the mountain and anchor, and this can mean that you move somewhere or you decide to take your distance, so you can keep building on this enthusiasm. Possibly you need to distance yourself from the issues that we saw here. And it's also possible that you move physically. You can also take a vacation or, spend some time abroad, maybe on your own, so that you can regroup and, just touch base with yourself after this challenge. So all of these are possible in light of the mountain and anchor. They're both very solid cards, very strong cards, very heavy. So it's pretty clear to me that you're going to have a new sense of groundedness and centeredness, a strong sense of self-confidence, healthy boundaries, no more anyone messing with you. I'm pretty clear about that. So a very beautiful set of cards, and I really feel that you want to focus on forgiveness, letting go, and moving on, so that you can reestablish yourself in your sense of enthusiasm and relief and positive motivation. And all of these are beautiful blessings coming to you. Now, we can read a few more diagonals. We've got the whip, flowers, and mountain. This is a beautiful card combination of forgiveness when we see the flowers after the whip. What's interesting is that we have the mountain after the flowers, and I feel that even though you're willing to forgive, this doesn't mean that the situation or the person or whoever caused you the problems is back into your picture. I think you feel that you're going to forgive, but that it's better to move on from this. And that is perfectly fine. And then we've got the tower, lily, and anchor. This is a very beautiful combination for career success, for your lifetime, for your growth. Important milestones are at play. You could achieve something major. And the idea is that you're really pursuing your life, your priorities. This is what's going to matter now, and you're going to keep pursuing them until you achieve them. And because of the anchor, we are looking at an important achievement. And it's also likely to see this in the bottom line as well. So really a potent 6-card layout that points you to success, healing, moving past challenges, the ability to forgive and to pursue your goals and actually achieve them. So quite a bit of a transition for you, but it's really positive, and I would suggest that you stick with it, that you move past the obstacles so that you can pursue your goals more freely and set the healthy boundaries in your life that are going to protect your time, protect your energy, and help you really maintain that optimism and positivity that you want for yourself in your life. So a beautiful set of cards. If you chose this layout, please let me know how you felt about it. I'd love to hear your feedback. And before I let you go, I want to remind you that I have lots of helpful links for you in the description box, so be sure to check them out. And I want to thank you again for tuning into this reading, and I'm so looking forward to our next one together. All right, here we are with the Teal group. We've got my deck with this and the Teal stone here watching over the reading. So my deck is always shuffled between readings, and I just like to give it a quick shuffle again just to set the intention and anchor it. And I also want to deal the cards. So here we go. All right, now this is a very clear 6-card layout with the focus being on money, thanks to the fish right in the middle here, and of course the beautiful star, which indicates wish fulfillment. So I do feel this is a money wish materializing, and this is the blessing that is coming to you. The lily is about careers, and the letter is about news. And with the scythe, this can be some amazing news that comes through, breaking news, if you want to call it that. And because of the star and fish, this is obviously very, very positive. So let's weave the lines here and put them into the 6-card layout. In the top line, we've got the lily, star, and letter. So the lily is generally about careers. It's about your life path. And with the star and letter, a wish fulfillment comes through some news. This is news that answers a wish. It could be an offer. It could be an opportunity that comes your way. But it is certainly aligned with what you want, and it materializes for you. So think about what it is you want. What is that wish that you're hoping for? And chances are you're going to hear good news about it. In the bottom line, we've got the road, the fish, and the scythe. This is a beautiful combination that suggests a financial opportunity comes through, and it probably comes through suddenly. Now, the scythe can be a challenging card sometimes, but because of the rest of the cards, I'm not really seeing this vibe in it. Instead, I do feel that this is more of an opportunity that brings about some changes. And I say that because we have the road and scythe together. And when I see these two together, I think of a change of direction. You are going to change roads, you're going to change direction. And the key here is that it has to do with a financial thing. It can be a job, it can be a business venture or an opportunity that causes you to change directions. And so what we're seeing through the scythe is that you're going to need to adjust very fast. It comes your way, it comes out of the blue, it comes suddenly, and you have to adjust. So if that causes a bit of an upheaval in your life, that is fine. I do think though that the star softens everything, and the idea that this opportunity comes through seems to be more important than any of its consequences, in fact. So I do think this is an important opportunity for you, and you're probably going to seize it. So opportunity in practical matters, in financial matters, are the key blessing coming for you. Now, the lily and road, a nice combination pointing to the life path and your life direction. And so this opportunity is clearly going to affect where you're heading in life. It's going to affect your milestones for the next phase, and it's probably going to cause a change of direction like we saw earlier. The fish and star here, a beautiful combination about wish fulfillment in financial matters, in practical matters. These are coming through to you. And the letter and scythe, a clear combination about sudden news coming through, or sudden news that you may have to deliver in the wake of this opportunity and the changes that it's going to bring about in your life. So we can wrap up with a few additional diagonals here. We've got the lily, fish, and letter. This is where it's really clear that this has to do with a job opportunity or a business opportunity. And the news here can be an offer, it can be something like a contract, or possibly a check, and other paperwork and documents that are related to this fish and lily combination, which is about your money and your career. As it stands, it's very positive, but the road, star, and scythe is the more positive combination because it carries the star, and the star is an all-around wish fulfillment card. So a beautiful set here suggesting a sudden wish fulfillment. Maybe you didn't expect it, and it does come through. So all in all, it is very clear that the blessing that is coming through for you is about finances, business opportunities, work opportunities, other practical matters. And tune into what you want, and chances are you're probably going to get it. Once you do, you're probably going to need to make some adjustments. You're going to need to be agile and to adapt pretty quickly. And it also probably indicates some news or communications that you're going to have to follow through on. Otherwise, a very beautiful set of 6 cards, and I'm very happy for you. Let me know if you chose this reading. Leave me your thoughts. Tell me how you feel it's applying in your context. And before I let you go, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I am looking forward to our next reading together. Welcome to the Shell Groups reading. Let us get into your 6 cards, and for this one, I've got Titania's Fortune cards, and my deck is always shuffled between readings, but let's just quickly give it another run to set the intention, and we're going to deal out your 6 cards. All right, now this is quite an interesting 6 card. Here we have the relationship aspect coming through strongly through the man, the dog, but also the house and possibly the garden. And what's really interesting is the beautiful fish here, and it's all about money, finances, and practical opportunities in general. So let us weave these different lines together and see what this story is telling us. In the top line, we've got the scythe, fish, and garden. Now, when I see the fish and garden together, this can point to a job. It can point to the marketplace. It can point to, buying and selling and commercial transactions. And with the scythe here, you could get a sudden opportunity, possibly in expense. But I do feel that because of the fish in the middle of the line here, it points to financial blessings. It points to practical solutions and practical opportunities coming your way. It can mean a job. It can mean that you leave a job. That is possible. But remember that this is a blessing. So if it is aligned with what you want, then this is probably what you're going to get. And the idea of the fish and garden can also point to what I said earlier, commercial transactions and things like that. And also the garden can point to the marketplace, society, community. And so I have to wonder here, especially because of the dog that is connected with the garden in this column, if it has to do with a community of people that are supportive in a business sense, in the area that you operate at work or in your business. And so it seems that there are opportunities in this regard. Now, in the bottom line, we have the man, house, and dog. Now, this is interesting. This can point to someone at work, or it can point to someone at home. It can point to friends here. It can point to a relationship with this man and a friendship developing with this man. And the house here is usually a card of intimacy, of closeness. It's also someone reliable, someone you can trust. And so it seems that this person is relevant at this stage. But because of the fish and house, which we're going to look at in just a bit, I do feel that this can point to real estate matters, investments, and the business arena in general, or your work. That is a possibility. But a key blessing coming through this sign is that you have a supportive friendship, someone who can help you possibly with this opportunity, support you with it, or give you feedback about what you're doing in the marketplace here with your business, with your product, and the other transactions that you're undertaking. Now, with the cons, we've got the scythe and man. Now, this is curious. This can mean a separation, usually, from someone, but I don't think that this is the meaning that comes through in this context relative to the other cards here. Instead, it does sound like there's a sudden opportunity that maybe this man delivers to you. He might inform you of an opportunity, and you feel like you have to seize this immediately. That is possible. The fish and house is typically about the job, the business, probably investments, and often real estate investments. So you could be buying or selling, and this is what's at hand for you. And I do think that this looks like a really positive opportunity. In the job context, you might get a raise, you can get an opportunity to be involved in something. It does sound like it's exciting, and it's something that can help you financially and in other practical ways. And both the fish and the ship are generally, sorry, did I say ship? The house and the fish are generally positive. And so the idea of building security and establishing sound financial foundations are also at play here. Now, the garden and dog is a combination of networking, of being out and about, being with people, interacting with people, being in a community, in society. And so it's possible that you take your product to the market, and maybe this man brings you the opportunity to do this. And you want feedback from people, you want to interact with them, you want to hear what they have to say about this. I think it's generally positive. And it's also possible that you're part of this community, or maybe on the job you're part of a team to work on this opportunity, and it does look like a positive collaboration is at hand. And also friendships and colleagues and your network in general come into play. So you want to tap into your network, you want to tap into your friends and your community in order to forward this opportunity that seems to be coming your way. And so overall, I feel this is a very positive blessing coming through to you in terms of finances, practical matters, and the people element is involved. So you get support, you get feedback, you're part of the group, and this is where it's evolving and developing positively for you. So I would say, if an opportunity comes your way, get insight into it through this person who's willing to help. Get insight into it through the people around you who are willing to support you and give you feedback, and go for it. Take your product to market, network, be out there, show and tell, and you should get some wonderful benefits from this. So this is the clear benefit and blessing that is coming through your cards. Now we can wrap up with a few more diagonals. We've got the scythe, house, and garden. Now that is interesting because the scythe and house has to do with a change on the domestic front. You could move. If you're buying and selling, you could move, or it can be a radical change relative to the home front. And with the garden here, it can also mean that this has to do with the job. So there could be changes on the job, changes with how you work. And the idea of gatherings and teamwork and collaboration is also highlighted. So as you undertake this change, we see that people and collaboration comes through. And this is also clear in this diagonal. We've got the man, fish, and dog. So we've got both people cards in here, and between them we've got the fish, which has to do with money and business and work and these opportunities. And so it does seem like maybe you buy and sell, you trade, you negotiate on business deals, and the relationships seem to be really supportive. I do think that everyone's focused on the same goals, that everyone wants the best to happen for everyone else involved. So it does look like a really positive and healthy collaboration that can bring you money, benefits, and other practical opportunities. So let me know how this is playing out for you if you chose this layout. I'm really looking for your comments. And before I let you go, I want to remind you that I have some helpful links for you in the description box, so be sure to check them out. I teach Lenormand, and I also offer private readings, so you might like either of these, or who knows, maybe both. So thanks again for tuning into this reading, and I am so looking forward to our next one together. Here we are with the prayer hands group. I've got your little charm here. Let's stand it. And for this one, I am using my own deck. It is shuffled as I always shuffle between readings. Just a quick shuffle. And this time I'm going to fan out the deck and select these 6 cards. All right, a beautiful set of 6 cards here. The key blessing that is coming for you is an ending and a new beginning. We are definitely seeing this through the child and coffin. And what is so beautiful is seeing the ship and moon on the right-hand side of your 6 card, because the right hand side tends to point to the later phases and the left hand side points to the past or the earlier phases. So this is a very beautiful set of cards. We can start weaving the lines and put it all together. In the top line, we've got the garden, clover, and ship. This is an all-around lucky combination. I mean, the clover by itself is a beautiful card, and on top of that, it's in the middle of the line. So major blessings coming through here. The garden, clover, and ship has to do with a wonderful opportunity coming your way. And this can be in relation to work and business. You know, the ship is about trade and commercial transactions, and the garden can also point to community. So it can mean that, you know, you take your product to market, that you're doing stuff in the marketplace, that you're tapping into the community. And the clover here is an all-around lucky card. So you can look forward to some wonderful opportunities coming your way. And the ship is probably also about travel. You might take a bit of a trip here, and with the moon, you might want to go somewhere nice, you know, to take a break. That is also a possibility. Now, in the bottom line, we have a very clear message of the child, coffin, and moon. And clearly, the child and coffin has to do with the beginning and ending. And when we see the coffin and moon as well, this has to do with the end of a phase. So clearly a new beginning is coming through and an ending has to ensue. And so you move on to a new direction here, indicated by the ship and moon. And I do feel that this is definitely something that you want because of the beautiful clover. And if it's not, you can trust that this is going to be really good for you. You're going to experience a sense of relief, a new sense of adventure, exploring new horizons. And it does seem like it's an overall adventurous situation, having let go of this past phase. So a very beautiful set of cards here that encourage you to turn the page and move on to explore something new. Now we look at the columns, we've got the garden and child. Again, this idea of something new is coming through. It can mean a new place, a new group of people, someone new, a new opportunity. The garden is really that card of places and events, community, society. And so with the child, there could be something new. You could feel like you're a bit naive, or you would have liked to have more experience, but I would say really don't worry about it. We're going to see this in this diagonal here. You're going to unfold beautifully and everything is working out just fine for you. In the clover and coffin, we have a clear indication of the ending. This is the middle column of your 6 card. And again, the idea of if you're not sure this is the right ending for you or if it needs to happen now, then the clover really comes through to tell you it is, and that you can trust this unfolding, and that you really look at things positively and optimistically. And then the ship and moon, this can mean a beautiful invitation to move forward in a new direction. It can point to a new opportunity and an exciting one. And I feel that you're really aligned with this. Like, I feel that you're really up for a new adventure now. You're really up for a new phase of exploration. Where are you going to take your adventure next? This is what you are transitioning into. So let go of the past and move forward in this wonderful new direction. Looking at the diagonals, we've got the garden, coffin, and ship. This is another indication of an ending. So an old place, an old situation ends, and you move into a new direction. And it's also very clear with the idea that, we've got the ship on the other side of the coffin. So you leave this behind you, you let go, and then you set sail in a new direction. And then we've got the child, clover, and moon. This is a beautiful combination pointing to new beginnings. And like we said, if you feel that, you're feeling a bit naive or inexperienced, don't worry. In time, you are going to feel more confident. And the moon really helps you move into things in a gradual and gentle way. So I'm really not concerned for you about this. And on top of that, we have the beautiful clover. Another clear indication that you do want to take these new steps and move forward in this new beginning. So this is a very clear set of 6 cards that is telling you that your blessing is a new beginning and that this is really good for you, that you do want to let go of the past and move into this new beginning and explore new opportunities. Take your time with them, enjoy the ride, and let this unfolding happen. So a beautiful set of cards. Again, let me know how it's playing out for you if you chose it. I'm looking forward to your comments. Before I let you go, I want to remind you that I have lots of helpful links for you in the description box, so be sure to check them out. And I want to thank you again for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next reading together. All right, here we are with the Rose Quartz group. This is our last group, and I am going to be using Titania's Fortune cards, and my deck is shuffled. Just a quick shuffle before we fan out the deck this time. And let's draw these 6 cards. Oh, wow. Look at this really interesting set of 6 cards. When I see the snake and the scythe right in the middle here, this is definitely a turning point for you. You are going to let go of something, probably something challenging, and it's really beautiful to see the bear and key on the right hand side of this 6th card, because the right hand side tends to be the outcome, the future of a situation, and the left hand side tends to be associated with the past or the earlier phases of the story unfolding. So this is an interesting set of 6 cards. The snake and scythe clearly point to a separation. And what's also interesting is the book and Lily, and the book is a mystery card. And it has to do with secrets and knowledge. So I have to wonder if you're not going to figure out something, because the key is also the card of problem solving and figuring things out. It's the card of intelligence and insights, solving riddles when we see it with the book here. So this is pretty interesting. I think you're going to solve a riddle. You are going to discover something, figure out something, learn of a secret, and it's going to inform your decisions, and it's going to give you that major advantage that we see here. Very, very interesting, very unique. So let's weave these lines together. In the top line, we've got the book, snake, and bear. Now this is an important secret. When we have the book by itself, it's the secret. And with the snake on top of that, which is the card of silence, this is definitely a secret or something hidden. And with the bear, it can be about someone important, like a manager, a parent, or someone of influence, but it can also mean that this secret is really important. So if you come across the secret, especially because of the snake right in the middle here, I would say, don't tell anyone. Clear and simple. You're going to understand this, you're going to figure it out, but don't tell anyone. This is important, okay? And the bear here really emphasizes that. What's interesting is the lily, scythe, and key, and this is clearly a breakthrough. I mean, the scythe and key by themselves is the breakthrough. The idea that you have that flash of insight, that you're like, oh, yes, the aha moment. I understand this now. I understand what this is. It has to do with a revelation or that flash of insight that comes through. And with the lily here, it's interesting because it can be, again, this idea of something important, a bit like the bear. And that's because the lily is about our life path, the long term, the big milestones in life. So when we see it with the scythe and key, I think you figure out something that has a lot of relevance for you and your life. So this is really, really interesting. But again, like we said in the top line, you want to keep it a secret. Like, you're going to figure it out, but you want to keep it a secret. This is really interesting. Now, the book in Lily has to do with knowledge, learning, education. And it does seem that you had been delving into some kind of topic or this situation here, and you've been really researching about it and thinking about it and reading about it. And it is something that you figure out, as we saw in the different lines. And then the snake and scythe has to do with a turning point. It can cause you to move away from a situation. You could figure out that something is not right and you need to turn away. And this is very clearly indicated by the snake and scythe. And the bear and key is a beautiful combination that suggests major success, major advantage that you have. And so it does seem like when you figure this thing out here and you make the decision to change, you have an amazing and probably an enormous advantage here. So you figure something out, you are brilliant, you are super smart, you really get it, you're on top of this, and so you have the advantage. So the blessing is definitely a blessing of understanding, of key insights, very, very important insights, and a major advantage that comes through. So this understanding this thing that you figure out here, it puts you in a position of power. And that is very clearly coming through the bear and key. Isn't it interesting? This is such an interesting layout. Now we look at the diagonals, book, scythe, and bear. Book and scythe, this is the revelation. Very clear. This is the idea of, like slicing the book open, breaking through the mystery, breaking through the secrecy. And definitely this comes through. And with the bear, it is an important insight, an important understanding that you achieve. It can also be pretty aggressive. So it can feel like you figure it out, like a major aha moment, like a major flash of insight. And then we've got the lily, snake, and key. And this is where we see that you're turning away. So this insight, this understanding causes you to make a change, probably a radical one because of the snake and scythe, but you also turn away and you adjust how you'd been doing things. And with the key, it is a very, very powerful combination of wisdom with the snake, of understanding, and of course, success, especially in view of the fact that the key is on this side of the reading and it's also accompanied by the bear. So this is truly an amazing 6-card layout. I've rarely come across these very unique combinations that come together to make up this unique story. So overall, the key blessing that is coming for you is major understanding, very important insight that comes through and that puts you in a position of power and advantage. And what also results from this is that you make changes. And these are changes that benefit you because obviously you're in this position of power, but it is also an opportunity to make a key adjustment for you. So a very beautiful set of cards. Let me know where you feel this is playing out for you. I'd really love to know. Before I let you go, I want to remind you that I have lots of supportive resources for you in the description, so be sure to check them out. I teach Lenormand and I also offer private readings, so have a look through. And so I want to say thank you so much for tuning into this reading, and I am so looking forward to our next one together. So stay tuned.